Today we are in Wisconsin's capital, asking young adults who took part in the Senate Scholar Program which issues they felt most passionate about.
I'm most passionate about K-12 education. I believe that a strong middle class is one of the key ingredients necessary for a strong, thriving democracy. And public education right now is funded largely by property taxes, which means that students who live in more affluent areas, their schools are able to afford better programs, hire better teachers, offer numerous AP classes, maybe honors classes, or even dual credit classes through university system, and those students have a better chance to succeed than those who live in areas that experience higher poverty and don't have as great of a level of property values, which results in the schools getting less tax dollars, and those students ultimately suffer and have less access to programming that could help them get a head start on their future and maybe help lift them out of poverty. Right now across the United States, your education really is determined by your zip code, and I think that really needs to change in order for America to be on track for better success and keeping all students with the ability to have a strong public education.
The issue that I'm most passionate about is the issue of the United States Constitution. I'm very concerned about the federal government overstepping its bounds and authority that's given to them in the United States Constitution, and I really am concerned about how federal authority is being exercised, and I hope that the United States government follows the Constitution to the letter and that the proper delegation of powers is left to the states.
I'm passionate about restoring America to its former glory, and what I'm referring to by that, not to be too general, is that our culture has become more degenerate. We have an insane rate of higher divorces, lack of family structure, lack of freedoms in this country that we once had, and I mean government interference with our lives. Now, to be clear, when I said earlier about marriage and divorce rates, I'm not proposing that the government should be involved in any way. What I'm proposing is that if we get the government out of our lives, and if we return back to a classical American structure as proposed by Locke, Rousseau, and our founding fathers like the great Jefferson, that we can have the American dream that was proposed by them back in the day and can really be a part of the modern century and hopefully a part of our future. The problem is that many oppose this, but I hope that we can at least convince enough of them to come to our side where we can have a good America, a great America.
Okay, so if I had to pick one issue that I was most passionate about, I would probably pick international affairs and America's role in international affairs. Because I think that most Americans think of themselves kind of in a bubble, and a lot of issues don't affect them in the way that they do in other countries, and we look at ourselves as we can kind of do whatever we want. We consume the most resources in the world, not even environmentally, but we just think of ourselves as the most powerful power in the world, the most powerful country in the world, and we act like it. And so that I think that it's really important that we take that role seriously and look at, oh gosh, I'm really bad at this, that we take that role seriously and we take responsibility for our actions, and I think that's probably the biggest issue facing our country today is not being aware of the issues in the world and not taking them seriously. So
the issue I'm most passionate about, I would have to say, is education. The world we live in today, our numbers when it comes to public schools and any school atmosphere, administrations, compared to other countries, has significantly gone down. And my belief is America should be number one in everything. In order for that to happen, in order for us to continue to make improvements in technology and in the future, and to win the future, and to continue to keep the American dream alive, it's all about educating our youth, educating all the people, trying to find different ways where people are not stuck in student debt their whole life. Finding ways where people, once they graduate from college with bachelor's degrees or graduate degrees, where they can get a significant and substantial job right away so they can continue to provide for their future and, if not, their family that they have.